I'm not too sure how well today's going to go. According to the weather forecast, I think I've got about 1.5 to 2 hours of dry weather for to stop training. The trouble is that falls exactly when the light drops off a cliff and it gets dark. But I'm going to attempt to go up to the large waterfall in Glenbranter, which should be nicely full and looking very dramatic. So I'm going to try and take a photograph of that, but I suspect I'll be making my way back in the dark again. That's a shame. I didn't expect this bridge to be repaired, but you could always hope, especially when I saw further down the track they had repaired all the scarring on the road. So the track up to this point is in pretty good condition now. So I kind of hoped that meant this bridge basically would be repaired. Unfortunately not. Apparently they are saying the track that I want to go on, which is the Waterfall walk, they are saying it's closed. But I'll make my own mind up. I'll go up and see what the damage is. If it's something severe, like one of the bridges washed away, then, well, that's the end of the photo shoot. We'll just see what it says. And so much for, we've got 1.5 to 2 hours of dry weather. It didn't last long. I think it lasted about 15 minutes. Ah well, never mind. It's only water. So that'll be why this path is closed. There used to be a bridge here. Obviously it's been washed away in the storm of last month. Not good. Okay, I didn't think I was going to get here. Quite a lot of obstacles. That basically means I definitely want to make the shots quick, because I don't really want to go back that route in the dark. And given that the bridge and the main track is out, this is pretty much the only game in town. But that looks phenomenal. The tricky thing with this waterfall though is getting the right angle to shoot it, because you've got that tree right in the middle. So yeah, the best photograph I ever got from it was from my drone, because I was able to fly it round to bypass that tree. But we'll give it a go and we'll make it quick. I was going to have lunch here, but I'll save it until I'm back down onto the main track. Right, got my camera set up. Going to have to make this fast because I can't believe how quickly the light levels are falling. However, I'm going to go for a portrait vertical shot for this, because I think it's better. You can capture the whole waterfall here. I don't know if you can see my focus point just there. We've got enough light that I can automatically focus. I use what they call back button focusing. The reason I do that is for normal cameras the focus is attached to the shutter button. So the shutter button takes both an exposure reading and immediately does a new focus. I don't like that because I do a lot of concert photography. So I basically, because of the low and changing lights, I need to set a particular focus point. and know that it won't change from that. So for instance, if the light level drops, I don't need to refocus on that tree up there because the focus is already there, it's already locked in, and even if I use the shutter button, it won't change my focus point. So that's called back button focusing, and it's saved my bacon lots of times in night photography and also in gig photography. Right, so I'm using area metering up here, so according to this it should be properly exposed at a 10-second exposure. So let's see. Okay, hold on. Here we go. And again, I'm using a timer so that there's no movement in the camera or the tripod, just through the act of me pressing the shutter button. So this is the first shot, and then what I'll do is I'll see how it comes out, and then I'll fine tune my settings based on that. And that is actually not too bad. You can see some details in the shadow. Water's nicely blurred. You can look at the histogram, and that tells you if you're losing any of the shadows or the highlights, and I'm not seeing any clipping. You know, if there was a big spike to the edge of these graphs, then that would show that you're either losing highlights or shadows, depending on what side of that the big spike is. So it looks quite good. And the rain has started, and I don't have my lens hood on. Right, so I'm going to stop this video. I'm going to take a few more shots, get the rain mac on and the lens hood on, take a few more shots, and then head back. Right, that's my camera, got its anorak on. I'm actually going to take a couple more shots in this rain. I'm kind of hoping with a long exposure the rain will give a sort of misty look to the photograph, but I'm not holding out much hope, because for that there would have to be a lot more light down here, and the light's already dropped at a stop. You know, well, it's dropped quite a lot, what they call a photographic stop, in just 5 minutes. So it is getting dark very quickly, so I've only got time for a few more shots. Right, so I took another shot, and there is kind of a misty look to it. I've zoomed in to check my focus, and the focus looks pretty good. Now I'm just going to check. I'm going to go check my lens just to find out if that misty look is because of the rain, or if my lens is fogged up, but I'm not sure because there's not a lot of mist in the foreground. The mist is kind of in the background, where if the rain was causing the mist, that's where you'd expect to see it, because obviously you're looking through a lot more rain the further back you look. So if I was going to see mist, that's kind of where I'd expect to see it. So I've actually had to add another 5 seconds onto my exposure time in just the 5 minutes since the last shot. So yeah, it's getting dark really fast. I keep saying that, but I'm just really, it always catches me out just how quickly it gets dark. And there's blood in it. I don't know why I'm surprised that Argyll weather forecasts are so rubbish as well. We were supposed to have 2 hours of no raining, and it's chucking it down. But hey ho, I'm not complaining. Makes the waterfalls look great. So I've changed the composition a little bit. I'm zoomed in a little bit more to try and emphasize the mist at the top of the waterfall, and already the light levels have dropped so low that my automatic focus on the focus point is not working, hence the blinking red square. So I'm going to have to focus manually. Right, quite pleased with that. I think we got a few decent shots. and we're heading back and it's still reasonably light. So in fairness, I think most of the really tricky bits to get by are more on this side of the walk. So yeah, hopefully I'll be by them before it gets too dark. But I do have 3 torches with me, so head torch, hip torch, and I've got my camera obviously as well. Sorry, my phone. So right, let's get back to that car and get something to eat. It occurs to me actually, this is the first time I think I've actually come back this way. You know, I normally go, but there's a track across there and there's one up in the hill up there. So I usually go round to the waterfall is and then down and then onto one of those 2 tracks. But both of them effectively are out of commission with that bridge gone down on the main road. So both of those tracks come out on the other side of that. So unless you actually want to wade across the river, you have to go back this way. So this is a bit I did not want to do in the dark. So fortunately, I think we've got more than enough light to do this. Now, before I went over that the first time, I did put my foot in that rock just to see how much grip there was, just to see how strong that water was running. So there's plenty of grip. So the main problem is just getting your feet wet, but I'll take that. So like I say, I didn't just jump in there and hope for the best. I did my research. Right, that should be the hardest bit. So time to head back. My lunch is calling. So I'm actually going to go back a slightly different way. About halfway down the track that I come up, there's a cut off and it joins one of the forestry tracks that the lumber lorries use. And as you can see with the trail up there, it's also a mountain bike route as well. But yeah, I thought I would come back this way for 2 reasons. One, I don't like going back in myself. If I do a walk, I like it to be a loop. Although in saying that, sometimes going back the way you came but you're facing the other direction, sometimes you actually get to see some things you missed first time round. But the other reason is it's getting dark, it's very wet, a lot of tree roots. So I didn't want to take any risks of having a slip and a fall, and given this is a forestry trail, it's in better nick, there's less hazards on it, although it's probably a little bit of scarring further down, because I tried to come up here with my mountain bike a couple of weeks ago and I had to turn back just because the track was so bad. But it's walkable, it's just not very easy to get by in a mountain bike. So different way back, it's all good. I forgot, on the trail here that takes you to the waterfall, you can see down there there's a hide for those of you that are interested in watching the wild animals and photographing birds. Then there you go, during the summer you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Come up this trail, spend a wee bit of time in the hut down there, and then carry on up the trail to the waterfall walk. So a slightly different way of getting there, but like I say, if I remember when I get back, I am recording this route for a change, so I'll put a wee screenshot at the end of this video showing which way back I came, and you should be able to find it from that. Right, that's me safely back at the car. I hope you enjoyed my wee photography trip. I did mention when I walked by the nature hide that I would show you roughly where it is on the map. So this is the route that we took, and the hide is round about there. So like I say, if you were going up the waterfall walk and you take the turn off to the forest trail, it's probably about 10 minutes walk along that trail there. Okay, so time for me to head back, have a couple of drinks, and thank you very much for watching.